Leg 5, Telegraph Harbor to Port Hardy. Here we are in Telgraph Cove. They had us parked in here like sardines. And they made us all get off the dock at 6:30 in the morning because it was a low tide and the big boys, it was too shallow for them. So we headed on out, motored on out to the start. Not a lot of wind. And no matter what anyone says, don't believe them. We did not pop the spinnaker sideways. That did not happen. Well, we got it all sorted out, and we had a downwind spinnaker start. It was really fun. And then we spent about the first 2 hours out there sailing like this with about 20 other boats, all zigzagging and strategizing with spinnakers up, just playing with each other. It was great. There was some current with us, and it was just a really fun time. We ended up rounding the point into the main strait, all in a group, and we felt we did pretty good as Boomerang. Then out in the strait, we kind of got pushed up by Serenity, and they kind of pushed us away from the rest of the fleet a little bit too much, and kind of put us towards the back of the group we wanted to race against. But the whole day was kind of like this. It's just fantastic.
What's our wind speed? What's our speed through the water?
It was a really great leg. We sailed the whole day like this on a broad reach or a beam reach. We had a lot of boats all around us. We were catching the ones that were in front of us. It was really good. Everybody got a chance on the tiller. I really think it was just about perfect. So, yeah, no complaints. I don't think there was any complaints from anyone on Boomerang. There's about 6 boats all coming up to these rocks and islands, rounding the corner into Port Hardy, all coming up to it together. We were watching everybody and trying to do the best job we could, as Brian goes for a little spill. But and we did really good. We read the wind really as best we could. We made all the right decisions as far as I could tell, especially as we came around the corner. Here we are catching up to tuna. Just doing a great job reeling them back in. Part of the challenge as we came up to Port Hardy was we had to negotiate these channel islands and rocks up towards the corner. Now that's kind of the course he took right there. I mean, you're fighting with 3 other boats through this area, and the light winds and the variable was pretty challenging. I think we did really well. We kind of rounded the point a little wider than a couple other boats because we saw that their wind was dying, and we really played a tactical game here, and came out ahead as we came around that point you see up ahead of there. You can see here in this section, we're catching up to tuna again. They kind of squeaked out past us. This is kind of the way the rest of the day went. This last half hour here, the wind was nice little 4 or 5 knots here, and then it dropped to nothing, and then we'll see some rain come along, and then we change down to our Genoa because the wind shifted, and then the wind dies where we are, and other people get a gust and get going, and then come to a glorious finish.
Whispers from broken streetlights. You try to understand them. They vanish out of sight.
And yes, that is Tuna passing us again. So we kind of played back and forth games with Tuna here at the last mile or so of this race. We thought we would have them, and they would sneak back in. And here comes some rain.
Go. Got it.
And here comes some becalming. And we're changing down to our Genoa. Because the wind, we can see the wind's changing up ahead.
But up here, sky's always clear. You never need to worry. You never need to fear.
And this last little bit, this 500 yards, it's like racing on a lake. We're looking for where the wind puffs are. It's like we're sailing the J. We're sailing on Itchy and Scratchy and not on Boomerang. And we're looking for where the wind is, and we find a slot. And we just stick with this wind puff all the way to the finish. We're about 50 yards further to the south than a lot of these other boats, so we're at the southern end of the line coming towards it, and we just ride this stream of a puff of a wind that's just that much different than the other boats. And we just, at this last 500 yards, we catch up to about 4 boats. And the most important one is we catch up to our nemesis image, and we have this glorious pass at the end of the race. So after racing today up the strait from Telgraph Cove to Port Hardy in nice strong breezes out in the strait, it comes down to this finish at the end of Port Hardy, where we beat them not by 50 yards to the finish line. Awesome. Yeah, we are ready for a break. We got a hotel, people went up and did their laundry, and we just kind of recharged our batteries after sailing hard for 5 days. Got some cards in, it's a good time. We welcomed our new crew aboard, Murray and Ani and Gleb, and we put them right to work. Thank you guys. And we found sporties, had some good food, and just got ready for leg number 6.
You make me wanna fly.
Leg 6. We said goodbye to our crew member Bob, who was headed home, and said bye to our road crew Cindy, who was going to meet us over at Winter Harbor. We welcomed Murray and Ani and Gleb onto the crew for the next couple legs, and here we are at the start on our way to Winter Harbor. The winds are pretty light in here. They get real light for a while. We kind of follow half the fleet that kind of stays out in the middle, and the other half goes against the shore. And we make our way out and get out in the channel where the winds really pick up. Just a beautiful day, beautiful start. We do a pretty good job, and we're on our way. Leg 6.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She's gonna start.
Woke to horrify, try and understand it. I wish today that the impish child would get out. 'Cause at times he leaves my head alone to help me contemplate my own. Feel as if my life changed at all. I can't forget about it, baby. Lost my way like a rotten body since years past.
And that's how the sail was the whole first half of the day. We were going up Goleta's channel. We were tacking back and forth on some great tacks, fighting the other boats. We were right with image, blowing about 18 to 22 knots, and just fantastic. And here we're looking back down Goleta's channel the way we came, and sunny day, just phenomenal. And the whole inside of this race was just great. It was just perfect winds and perfect weather, it seemed. And I said, one more day. Well, we sailed up Goleta's channel, we got to Nawidi Bar, and then we kind of got stuck in a whole bunch of current, and the rest of the fleet actually sailed away, and we were practically last when finally we cleared the Nawidi Bar and we got into the north of the island. And then we went out a little deeper out there, further out, and we got some good wind. We started reeling people back in, and by the time we turned around Cape Scott, we were kind of back where we should be. Caught up amongst our direct competitors and ready for a spinnaker run during the night.
My Russian's a little rusty. Alright, so here we got Gleb on the spinnaker sheet. It's a pretty treacherous evening. The winds are really brutal. Huge breaking swells. It's trying to stay dry and not break anything.
Where are we?
We are just off of Cape Cook. Is that right? Cape Scott, sorry. And next stop going this direction is Hawaii and then Japan. All right, over and out for now.
And we had a great sail that night. About midnight, we had a whale that was surfacing behind us for about 45 minutes. You'd turn around and see the phosphorescence from his rise, and then he'd go away for about 5 minutes and he'd surface again. It's unbelievable. We finished at Winter Harbor about 8 in the morning and kind of motored up the channel to Winter Harbor proper, and it was just beautiful. We moored in Winter Harbor right at the main dock in front of the whole celebration, and we promptly took a nap for 4 hours. We were exhausted. And then when we woke up, we did more repairs again. We repaired the sails, a couple of rips, and then this time we sent Murray up the mast to look at the spreaders, and he did a real good job. He filed down the screws and put some extra rubber padding on it and put the boots back on and fixed them for good. Here's the boardwalk at Winter Harbor. This is how you walk between different marinas. It's pretty darn cool. Looks like it's in a rainforest. It would be 100 feet up. Or not, of course, but it's pretty cool. And they threw us a pig roast barbecue for everybody. It was really neat. We had the best road crew of anybody there, and Cindy really took care of us. She set up her whole camping and glamping setup, and she cooked us some great chili, and it was just fantastic. Thank you, Cindy. Everybody had a really good time. That's it for part 3. Come on back for part 4 when we do leg 7 and leg 8, which are both really good and really bad. So come on back. See you soon.